It wasn't Seki who shot the victim. That was Michael Mays.
What's up, what it do? Drill Time TV checking in once again. Hey man, say man, Lil Mick says I ain't about to do no 60 ball and Rocko only got 24. Man, y'all got me fucked all the way up. Hold on. Cause first of all, Rocko asked me did I want to ride on the hit and I said no. See, I was really trying to get out the car like Cuban boys in the hood.
Don't. Let me out.
Man, Miko had that pipe and gave it to Rocko and he did what he did. I wasn't a shooter, says Lil Mick in the interrogation room. Hit that like button. So boom, now check it out. L.A. Capone case went cold for about a year until August the 20th, 2014, when Detective Holleran spoke to Rocko down at the police station. The next day, the detective rolled by Mick's house and snatched him up and shut him down in that interrogation room. So they got Mick in there for about an hour and he playing the role woody woo la 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 like I don't know what happened to that boy until they told him. We got Rocko and Miko already, and that's what prompted us to come talk to you about the murder of L.A. Capone. Hearing that, his stomach started touching his back, and he immediately started spilling the beans and told detectives that Rocko, Miko, and Big A was involved in the murder. And on the day in question, he was posted on 51st and Prairie with Rocko and Miko at a barbecue when Rocko received a call saying L.A. Capone at the studio making a diss song about him. And that's when Rocko asked him, do he want to ride with them so they can go and kill L.A. Capone? And Lil Mick said, no, I'm cool. And then Rocko proceeded to put the cables on him by reiterating that 600 killed one of their beloved members by the name of Fathead. So boom, they all pop in the car and meet Big A at the gas station on 67 in Stony Ave. That's when Mick dove in the car with Big A. He told them folks, him and Big A, Amanda Fitch was gonna be the trail car. In case the police arrive, they would be trailing the shooter so they can get away scot-free with the pipes. So boom. Mick said after they all arrived at the studio, Rocko and Miko drove in the alley while him and Big A waited in the car on the street. He told them he knew they was gonna shoot L.A. Capone, and about 20 minutes later he heard gunshots. And then they drove off and met back up at Washington Park. Lil Mick told detectives that Miko had the pipe and handed it off to Rocko, and he used his shirt to load it to avoid leaving any fingerprints on any shell case. And he observed all that before he jumped in the car with Amanda Fitch, aka Big A. Lil Mick also inserted that Miko had the gun hidden in the car before he passed it off to Rocko. So basically your boy Lil Mick saying he wasn't a shooter, he was in the car with Big A. But what Lil Mick failed to realize was the detectives was running an interrogation technique on it. They like, okay, so we got him to admit he was in a commission of a premeditated murder and he decided to look out for Miko and Rocko. So we go assume he taking accountability. So now the detectives turn it up a notch and brought Rocko to the restroom right across where Lil Mick was being interrogated at. So with the audio and video still running in the interrogation room, they baited Lil Mick and he played right into their hands by communicating with Rocko from under the door. Now what he said to Rocko, man, listen. He must ain't never seen First 48 and how this shit works. He already put himself on the scene of a murder, but now they got him on audio whispering under the door to Rocko, telling him they should work together and blame it all on Miko. Oh, y'all know when they caught wind of that, they would go turn him every which way but loose. That statement put the nail in the coffin when they played it before the jurors. After that, the state rested. Lil Mick elected not to testify in his defense and rested his case without presenting any witnesses and knocked sparks out of him with that 60 ball. Gained 60 years, 45 years for first-degree murder on accountability theory. Plus the 15-year enhancement. The reason the court said that they smacked him with the enhancement at 17 years old was because of his background. They said they found his rehabilitative nature very questionable. How he tried to collude with his co-defendant Rocko to shift the blame. According to the court, the complete planning of this execution from beginning to end wasn't thought out by no inexperienced novice. They said he was advanced in this shit.
They said Lil Mick was lightweight advanced at this shit.
They said Lil Mick was lightweight advanced with this shit out here.
And charged him accordingly. Now detectives got Miko in that room and ran game and tricked the shit out of him too. They told Miko, I know you wasn't present for the murder, and he wouldn't be charged if he said he saw Lil Mick shoot L.A. and he drove the trail car. But that wasn't the case. They ran game on his goofy ass too. Now he done talked this way into a murder and then implicated himself as one of the drivers. So Miko testified that he falsely told the police that he drove the trail car because he wanted to get home to his son, you know what I'm saying? And on cross-examination, Miko admitted he was willing to get in that courtroom and lie about whatever happened to avoid that jail time. They came back with the 45 like Michael Jordan. 30 piece for the murder, 15 years for the enhancement. And Rocko skated away with the least amount of time under the first to talk, first to walk act. That shit crazy. So basically, CBD ran with whatever he served. Keep in mind, the detective pushed down on Rocko on something unrelated. And he helped them boys solve a cold case murder. So Lil Mick waiting on resentencing because he felt like they just wanted to charge somebody with that murder. Two wrongs probably didn't make it right, but at the time Mick was like, fuck it. Amanda Fitch, aka Big A, she died a little bit after LA in November of 2013. He said that was THF work, but Rocko was in the car with her when she died. And he got reason to believe that Rocko got something to do with it. But CBD wasn't trying to hear that. I guess they figure it's a time and place for all that there. Same thing Rondo 600 said when Lil Mick and his constituents pulled up on him like a diaper in that cell pod. I think at this point them boys been in there so long, man, they just trying to get it how they live. Rondo said the streets one thing, but in here it's all about survival. Knowing damn well he was looking for Mick that night he got that half a century. And now he face to face with him ducking his Nacho Bell grinding. Cause that was fucked up what they did to that man Javon Boyd. And he ain't had nothing to do with none of that there. He was out here trying to provide for his family. I think he had a daughter. And before that, he lost his whole family in a fire.
A family that has suffered much loss is mourning once again tonight. When he was a child, Javon Boyd's mother and sibling died in a fire, and now he has been shot and killed. Eyewitness News reporter Michelle Gallardo joining us now live with the latest on this. Michelle.
Ravi, good evening. Javon Boyd had only been on the job as a livery driver for about 3 weeks when he was shot. He drove his own vehicle, which was unmarked and therefore not clearly identifiable as a cab, which is why police say they're not sure whether the motive was a robbery. His family tonight, though, making an appeal for anyone with information about the shooting to please come forward.
I just want justice. That's it. Whoever did it, if somebody posts something, somebody come forward. That's all I'm asking for.
It was just about 4 a.m. Saturday when livery driver Javon Boyd was shot and killed while waiting on a fare in McKinley Park. By the time the woman he was to have picked up arrived, it was too late. Police say the shooter approached from the vehicle's passenger side, hitting him in the back and legs.
I mean, right now we're in distraught and we don't have any answers.
Though he'd worked with them before, Boyd had only resumed his job as a driver with Pershing Dispatch in the last few weeks. Dispatcher Janetta Parks says this is the first time any of their drivers have been hurt.
We service the whole west south side, the whole south side, west side. But other companies won't go, we will. But from now on, we will not have any drivers going to that area.
Only 28 years old, his family says Boyd, who had been in trouble when he was younger, had turned his life around in recent years and currently worked 2 jobs to make ends meet.
This boy worked majority 14 to 16 hours, almost a day, to feed his family, to go back home and want to be back home with his fiance.
His life was already marred by tragedy. On June 2nd, 1994, an apartment fire in the now-defunct Robert Taylor homes killed all of Boyd's immediate family. The only one of his siblings old enough to go to school, that is what saved him. It was his mother's sister who survived the fire along with her infant daughter, who raised him as her own after that.
He was my baby boy, so he meant everything.
Catch him while you like it, show up off guard. Pop up the cut and let that shit start.
The crash out of CD and Rondo was similar to Mick and Rocko's in many aspects. Both murders were fueled off of vengeance for revenge from the loss of a close childhood friend. But when shit hit the fan, It was every man for himself. And they started to realize, oh, they got love for the guys, don't get me wrong, but they love their freedom even more. I guess loyalty is a thing of the past because fear done got stronger than love out here. So ain't nobody safe. Nasty word getting tossed around because everybody telling on everybody. Seen the appeal pop up saying that Rondo said that C-Day was the soul shooter. Maybe that's what him and Mick had in common and that's why they was chopping it up so illustriously. Now they using the same strategy to get home and they forced to reckon with each other every motherfucking day. They big homies are so-called best friends and turn strangers. Now it's a race against time to see who get out first, man. That shit is crazy. D-Rose said if y'all think they in there still fighting out, y'all confused and misled. He said they figured out who the real enemy is now.
They ain't my up, you feel me? Like it's just, they might be confused, just think, you know, just because of what I portray in, like what the media just like be steady trying to put on me, if they don't really know how I am or who I am, you know. And it's like, that's the only thing, like, yeah, I just, inshallah, I pray that his heart and that his intellect, like, let all of them know, like, man, just what we know, like, man, we so-called, like, we confused, you know, it's stated in the Quran, too. Like, man is lost, you feel me? And it's like, it's our objective to balance them the best ways we can, you feel me? But yeah, I'm gonna embrace more. Our league gon' feel it too, bro. It's people down with me. Bro, it's people down. My team can tell you, bro. It's people down here that we've been making the congregational salat, bro. We've been making congregational salat with some people. I'm gonna put them, look, inshallah, this gonna happen. We gonna be on the yard and you gonna hit me on the phone and you gonna hit this dude on the phone and he gonna tell you to look his Instagram up. And when people draw the conclusions, they gonna see like, yeah, like he around him and Rose ain't sweet with him or none of that. And you know that's gonna be like, this what the truth is. This the proof right here, bro. You know how I feel, like we all black. All our people was on welfare. Your people was on, we was in the same box, we was in the same community, and they know you a fool to think that we supposed to be against each other, you know? Yeah. And it's like, look at where we at right now. It's the same thing now that we in jail. All of the black people around each other, we just ain't around our family. But we each other family, you feel me? It's like, we a fool to, this is why I don't like gangs, bro, because they separate, they do what the white people want them to do. Like, they want us to be separated and they want confusion, bro. Gangs make it easier. They make it easy. They make it easier for the white man, bro. You feel me? Like that? We ain't going for none of that. Like, that's what we on our press. You know who our real presidents are, and we on it. You feel me? Like,
Lil Mick said he grew up wild, shelter to shelter, house to house. And he joined Young Money trying to get him some money, but it backfired. He also letting the up-and-comer know that the street life ain't the way to go. He took his shahada in 2019, and that street life and mentality is behind him now. He said most of his guys left him for dead anyway.
Well, my name is Sergeant Jordan Johnson. I was bringing to Chicago, you know. It wasn't, I can't say it was normal, but, you know, I don't really know how to describe it. It was a lot of problems, a lot of violence going on, a lot of stuff going on that shouldn't have been going on, you know. Which led me to prison. It's crazy. Like, we was going from house to house, people I don't even know, but it's like, it was rough, man. Real rough. Probably just like, it was hard growing up. And then, like, we had no role models to look up to. We had nothing to look forward to. It was like, you turn to the streets and you see things in the streets that, like, kind of traumatize you a little bit. Yeah. You just continue to hold on to it and just live with it, you know? Deal with it. Now I'm in prison trying to fight back and get back home to my family, but recently in 2019, I think on my birthday, I was like 3rd. That's when I took my shahada. I was already learning a lot about Islam when I was in Cook County. And I eventually took my shahada in 2019 once I came down here to Menard Corrections. So guys that's out there like trying to be in the streets and stuff like that, just trying to do different things, you know, live a whole different life, because that lifestyle is not even worth it. Like, when I found Islam, it just made me like, it made me look different, like do everything different. At first, I was just like lost at first. They had gave me all this time. They gave me 6 years, so I was like kind of taking the back by, you know. And it gave me a lot of strength. And it showed me like a lot of people went in my corner. A lot of people, there's a few people that was, but the people that did stay in my corner, you know, I really appreciate them. I'm grateful for them. But I really, like, my grandma always tell me I took things for granted. And I never understood what that was until I actually came to prison and sat and thought about it. And it's crazy how much people take life for granted. You know, that shit like it's not worth it at all. Like,
I think it's terrific that the guys found ally in the prison system, given their circumstances in the streets. It's just unfortunate that they had to lose close friends at a young age to understand that they was headed for self-destruction, leading that type of lifestyle. What can we take from this situation? Well, rule number one, self-preservation rule the nation. If it's a me or you situation, you already know how that's gonna play out. And don't be naive. Best friends turn to strangers. And a nigga will say anything to get home once he locked behind them bars. You see, Rondo and Mick chalked it up like a pool stick, cause that time wearing on. I just hope some of y'all out there figure this shit out before y'all old men living a life of regret. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so I can keep you updated. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Whole lot of senseless deaths. Tighten up out there, y'all. Drill Time TV. I'm out.